All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope I am audible and that everyone can hear me and see me. I hope naniud to na pud mong tanan para nindot ang ato ang program this afternoon and that we can have your full attention. So, as Sir Benji said earlier, we this is going to be our last meeting for Caed 500. So we hope that you are going to enjoy this program that we have, short program that we have prepared for you. And we hope that you will also participate, especially later on after the talk that we have with our guest speaker for this afternoon. But anyway, without any further ado, I think everyone is already set. And let us begin our program this afternoon with our preliminaries. We shall have our prayer and the university hymn. So, uh-huh. So, yun. All right. So I guess that Okay, so I guess that officially begins our program for this afternoon. Once again, good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the second semester of school year 2021 and to 2022's first term virtual culmination day. So for today, we are going to be coming together to end this exciting journey of discovering the new things and the new learnings that were imparted to us with regards employment and career inspiration, career knowledge, anything to enhance our abilities in the job industry. So without further ado, I think Sir Ray is already in the Zoom link. So let's give our Vice President for External Relations and International Affairs a warm virtual round of applause as he gives us his opening remarks. Sir Ray?
Yeah, thank you, Kate. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon to our Caed 500 students, and my kudos to all of you for reaching this far in your academic journey. Today, indeed, marks another milestone in your persistence and hard work, and maybe one of the most memorable chapters in your life and in your career. You have shown how resilient you are, that despite our challenging and volatile situation, you have pursued your dreams, and I salute you for that. As I mentioned in my previous virtual sessions with you, that your Caed 500 is offered to bolster your employability potentials and skills. And we hope that you have learned from the various lessons and coaching sessions you have with us. I'm excited in today's culmination program to see your performances, your outputs, and all other types of your participation. We are also lucky to have our guest speaker from the industry, Miss Andy Panlaki, the head of the HR of Nissan Mond, as for sure she can share many valuable and relevant insights to all of you. I'd like to share this message of Steve Jobs, which I think is very appropriate to all our Caed 500 students. Steve Jobs said that the only way to get to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Again, welcome to our culmination program and good afternoon to all our Caed 500 students. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ray. Again, a virtual round of applause, please, for such inspiring words, as always. So, yeah, I guess that sets our afternoon for today. As Sir Ray said, we will be seeing you in action. No, we will be seeing your talents later on. But before that, we have highlighted one particular student this afternoon to share with us his talent. But again, before that, we would like to introduce to you our guest speaker for this afternoon. She is actually, as Sir Ray mentioned, the head HR head for one of our merchant partners, and she will be um, talking to you in a short while regarding her expertise in employability. But before that, let's have a quick performance from one of our very own students right now in Caed 500. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give another warm round of applause to Jeffrey Bahala as he renders us with one of his songs.
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the light in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through this crazy time, it's you, you make me sing. You're every line, you're every word, you're everything. You're a carousel, you're a wishing well, and you light me up when you ring my bell. You're a mystery, you're from outer space, you're every minute of my everyday. And I can't believe that I'm your man, and I get to kiss you, baby, just because I can. Whatever comes our way, I will see it through, 'cause you know that's what a love can do. And in this crazy life, and through this crazy time, it's you, you make me sing. You're every line, you're every word, you're everything. So la 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 la. So la 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 la. And in this crazy life, and through this crazy time, it's you, you make me sing. You're every line, you're every word, you're everything. You're every song, and I sing along, 'cause you're my everything. So la 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 la. So la 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 la.
All right. Okay. So I hope that put a smile on your face as much as it did on mine. So thank you once again to Jeff. Jeff, andyan ka ba? Baka ano, kakaway-kaway naman kay Jeff. Are you here? Could I request everyone to make sure that their mic is on mute, please? All right. Okay, Jeff, give us a moment. Is it me? Okay, there we go. That's fixed now. Sorry about that. So, Jeff, are you in the room? Kung nandyan ka, on naman ng mic, kaway-kaway naman. I think he did a very good job. I hope you enjoyed his little song for us, no? Anyway, by the way, for everyone's information, Jeff is actually currently a member of the Chorale. And as usual, no, the university is really very proud of our Chorale. As you can see naman, no, galing naman ng talent nila. So thank you so much once again, Jeff, for sharing with us your talent. But for now, I think it is time for everyone to medyo settle down a little bit so that we can begin with our talk this afternoon. And as shared earlier, we have with us today from one of our merchant partners, Mond Nissen, we have Miss Andy Palaki, as she will be sharing with you her expertise on careers. Miss Andy, are you ready?
Yes. Hello. I am ready. Thank you.
Hi, Miss Andy. You can have the floor now.
All right. Okay. I'll be sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
Okay, yes, we can see it now.
All right. Okay. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. So, first of all, I'd like to thank our university. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank University of Mindanao representative for choosing Mondonison to present in this event. Okay. So before we start, I'd like to encourage everyone to use the comment section and then the reactions all throughout the presentation. If parang you agree ba, or if mamaya I'll be showing with you the brands of Mondonation, if natikman nyo na ba sila, if you're familiar ba with them. Okay. So let me introduce myself. Okay. All right, so I'm Andy Panlaki. I'm the HR staffing specialist of Mondonesen. So here's my background. So I attended Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Manila from 2014 to 2018, where I got my degree in BS Psychology. I had 2 internships from a well-known construction company and real estate company wherein I was exposed in recruitment, training, and labor relations. Then exactly a month after I graduated, I started working in one of the top real estate companies in the Philippines, wherein I led the hiring for corporate vacancies nationwide. And I'm also the responsible for school partnership, spearheading the HRIS for recruitment and budgeting. Then after 3 years, I moved to Mondonesen to pursue my career in human resources. So currently, I'm handling the corporate vacancies assigned to my account while establishing the school partnership initiatives of the company. Okay. Okay. So as I've mentioned, no, so I'm currently employed in Mondonesen. So I'd like to share with you then our company presentation para syempre you'll be more familiarized with the culture of the company and what we can offer. Let me know if you can hear the video. Here you go. Naririnig ba siya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
When everything stood still, we saw how severely the world has changed. This validated our belief that we simply cannot continue behaving with the same mindset that got us here. So how do we move forward? For Mondonesen, the answer is clear. We aspire to improve the well-being of people and the planet, and create sustainable solutions for food security. When it comes to the food we produce, we are making better possible. As a leading food company, our hearty portfolio includes not just timeless and beloved products, but also new and exciting global brands. So while we continue to satisfy the tastes and needs of our loyal customers, as we have for decades, now we bring our food to ever-expanding markets across the world. we acknowledge our profound responsibility to create better food, to better our communities, all while sustaining a better planet. How do we make this possible? We pioneer with the lifeblood of our business, the food we make. We leverage innovation and technology to enhance the nutritional value of our products. Alongside our healthier options, this helps us pivot to a portfolio that rightly meets the needs of our customers today. Because as much as we care about food, we care more about the people who enjoy them. We employ several nutrition initiatives to help make our products better alternatives. And we go even further. Beyond personal health, we go into the well-being of people, both in our workplace and outside of it. From advancing holistic wellness and inclusivity in our own company, providing livelihood and opportunities for inclusive growth through our community distribution network, all the way to responding to crisis in affected areas, we happily bind the success of our business to the upliftment of the lives around us. And our sustainability efforts don't stop there. The impact that we want to make on the planet is both positive and lasting. In less than 10 years, we aim to become a zero-waste business, starting with 100% recyclable packaging by 2025. We are also transitioning to a low-carbon value chain to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This is the path we have chosen at Mondenisin because we believe that good food can be good for people and good for the planet as well. And we are confident that by making better decisions and taking better actions, a better future awaits us all. Mondenisin, making better possible.
Alright, so that is Mondenisin. So let me share with you naman our aspiration as a company. So we aspire to improve the well-being of people and, what's this? Okay, so we aspire to improve the well-being of people and the planet and create sustainable solution for food security. So Mondenisin has been in the industry na no, for quite long, so for more than 40 years na. And we're continuously developing our products, diba? So as you know, we actually have a lot of brands na, and of course, we're leaning towards sustainability. So makikita naman siya sa mga products natin, nakikita natin, di ba, like how they evolve, di ba, from time to time. Okay, so speaking of our products, so sharing with you the brands under Mondenisin. So we have the Lucky Me, Skyflakes, Vita, Corn, Cauldron, Monden, Nissen, Emoysan Grahams, and Jellyvit. Okay, so alin na dito yung mga natikman nyo na and alin dito yung mga favorites ninyo? Please type in your answers dito sa comment section. Tignan nga natin. Okay, so yan, ang dami nagsasabi, Pancit Canton, Fita, Lucky Me, Eggnog. Yan, very good. Lahat yan, products of Mondenisin. Okay, so thank you so much for all the reactions. Really appreciate it. So if you're interested to one of our openings, you may scan the QR code here in the presentations para makita nyo yung list ng mga vacancies namin nationwide. So Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Okay, so scan the QR code, but if you don't have any QR scanner, you may type in yung link natin dito sa baba. And then po pwede nyo siyang i-encode sa browser natin. Okay, so as of now, po pwede nyo muna siyang picture i-screenshot para meron kayong reference pag mag-apply na kayo, di ba? And of course, we want you to be part of our growing community, di ba? So, hintayin namin yung mga applications nila. Alright, so, yeah. Sige, i-screenshot nyo na. Yan, picture na or i-scan nyo na yung QR code para makita nyo yung mga vacancies natin. So, yeah, we have various vacancies here in Mondenisin that you might want to apply for. Okay. Alright, okay. So I guess done na yung iba mag-picture, mag-scan. So let's proceed. So today, we will be discussing how to make it in the real world that mainly focuses on how can a fresh graduate survive in the corporate world. Okay, so this is the Fresh Graduates Survival Guide. Okay, so for today's topics, we have Okay, college life versus corporate life, things to keep in mind, common mistakes fresh graduates make, the job hunting cycle, where to apply, how to prepare for an interview, and how to stand out from the crowd. Okay, so I'd like to share with you no this quote no by Arthur Ashe na nakatulong talaga sa akin during my college days hanggang ngayon, 'di ba? So, as you can see no, yung sa profile na na-share ko kanina, I don't have any Latin honors. So, I'm just a normal student like you, 'di ba? Na talagang parang alam mo yun, like pumapasok, 'di ba? Parang nagko-comply with all the requirements of the university. So, parang mahirap sa akin, parang paano kaya ako makakapag-land ng first job ko, 'di ba? So, yeah, naging struggle ko din siya. Na like naisip ko din siya during my college days. So, paano kaya? Paano kaya, 'di ba? Medyo nerve-wracking talaga siya. So, the first thing that I did was to compose myself, of course. So, I need to have a clear mindset kasi on what should I do. Okay? So, given nga na like I'm not the top student talaga in class, so I need to start where I am, 'di ba? So, ang ginawa ko is ano pa ba yung pwede kong gawin ngayon, 'di ba? For me to improve yung credentials ko. Kaya ako, nag-apply ako sa iba't ibang mga companies for internship. Just to share with you, no, naka-4 na internships ako. Ang dami, di ba? So, kayo ba, nakakailang internships na ba kayo? Kasi maganda yung mga internships, no, para makita nyo yung actual work experience talaga. Like, paano ba? Kasi iba yung corporate life, tsaka yung college life, ibang-iba talaga yan. So, ako 4 yung nag-internship ko. So, dalawa doon, under human resources. Kasi as a psychology graduate, meron kaming clinical, meron kaming academic din human resources. Nagustuhan ko talaga yung human resources. Kaya nagdalawa ako, di ba? For me to better understand how does it feel like to work in human resources. So, you can also do that, no? Para mas maging involved kayo, para mas magkaroon kayo na idea on how things work. Okay? So, dun ako nag-start. Like, in-improve ko yung credentials ko. And then, nung gagraduate na kami, di ba I've mentioned na I started landing my first job exactly a month after I graduated because I started early. Okay? While yung mga iba kong mga kaklase, like nagre-review sila for their board examination, yung iba naman preparing for graduation, ako, ang ginagawa ko, aside from, of course, preparing for the graduation, nag-apply na ako agad. So, ang ginawa ko is I did my research kasi human resources, you can apply to any industries, 'di ba? So, I actually look for the top companies, 'di ba? So, 'di ba lakasan talaga siya ng loob, I applied to those companies. So, paano ba ako nag-apply? I'll be sharing that with you later, no, yung mga sourcing channels na ginagamit namin mga recruiters. So, nag-apply ako sa lahat ng mga sourcing channels. Meron bang opening tong company na to for HR? If wala silang opening, I look for the HR name or let's say, aside from the HR, mga sales and marketing, ganyan din, ini-email ko talaga sila. Diba? Para mag-send lang ako ng mga generic application na I'm applying for HR role, if you have any openings. Kaya please don't hesitate to reach out. Ganun yung ginagawa ko. Kaya after few weeks, I got contacted for the role. So, I attended different interviews, ganyan. And then, exactly a month after I graduated, nag-start na din ako mag-work, di ba? So, ganun siya. So, you have to start talaga where you are. There's no right time. Ngayon na, di ba? If you wanted to achieve talaga your career goals. And then use what you have. Ako, I use what I have, which is yung internet connection. Di ba? And do what you can. Ako, I did a lot of things. No? Like, I research a lot of companies, how to contact them, yung mga HR, etc. So, that's something that you can do then, no? As soon as you get dated. Okay? So, this presentation that I'll be sharing with you are, of course, I did my research and based on my experience then, para to prepare you then, no, as soon as you graduated. Okay, so mga best practices siya that you may apply then to yourself. Okay, so of course, you have to make smart decision. So, of course, as soon as we graduated, most of us are well, some of us are parang yung tinitik nating course medyo broad, di ba? Like for example, ako, psychology graduate ako, so pwede akong mag-HR, pwede ako mag-clinical, pwede ako mag-academe, pwede din ako actually mag-law, mag-med school, etc. So you should know what you want. You should know what you want to pursue. Okay? Ano ba dito yung best option for me? Alin ba dito yung aligned to my interest, to my values, etc. So ako, nag-apply ako sa HR, Human Resources. Decided na ako mag-HR ako. Then, look for resources, di ba? Parang how can you achieve that? Okay? So ako, I applied for different internships. I applied to different companies. And of course, kasi I don't have any connections back then. So if you don't have any connections, build one. Okay? So you can build connections by attending to different career activities. So for example, itong career talk natin, di ba? So career talk natin o kaya sa mga job fairs kasi marami tayong makikilalang mga HR, di ba? Or mga company representatives that might help us not to land our first job. Okay? So, and then act immediately, di ba? So, if you have a lot of plans, di ba, in your career, you have to act fast, di ba? So, yeah, act immediately. So, know what you want to pursue, look for resources, build connections, and act immediately. Okay? So, as I've mentioned a while ago, no, kaya ako nag-intern talaga ng marami, di ba? 4 na internships yun. Kasi, ibang-iba yung college life and yung corporate life. Okay? So, makikita nga natin dito, no? So, college life, you work with the same age group as you. And then for the corporate life naman, your co-workers come in different age, size, shape, and background. Okay? So, yung adaptability mo to work with different types of people, makikita dito in the corporate life, di ba? And then in college life naman, you can be yourself anytime, di ba? You can goof around, you can do anything, di ba? So, pag corporate life naman, your behavior matters. Of course, you have to be professional at all times, especially if your job requires you to do so. Okay? And then, in college life, there will be a lot of variation, di ba? So, meron tayong mga iba't ibang events, activities, etc. Di ba? Meron pa nga tayong may mga active pa nga sa atin sa mga organizations. But in corporate life kasi, each company varies, no? So, may mga companies na nag-offer ng mga events, mga ganyan, mga orgs, di ba? But not all companies does that. So, it really varies. So, it depends. Some companies, they don't offer that. So, we have to follow talaga the company standard kung ano yung ginagawa dun sa company na yun. Okay? So that's the difference, no, between the college life and corporate life. Okay? So things to keep in mind. So of course, you have to think far ahead, diba? Like for me, diba? College pa lang ako, hindi pa ako gumagraduate, pero tinitignan ko na ano kaya yung ipupursu ko, di ba? Or hindi naman ako candidate as cum laude. Ano kailangan kong gawin, di ba? Para magkaroon ako ng edge with other, magkaroon ako ng edge, di ba? Pag na-source ng recruiter yung profile ko, di ba? Parang ano yung mako-contribute ko sa company? Bakit ako? Bakit ako yung kailangan nilang piliin, 'di ba? Kaya ang ginawa ko, nag-intern ako, 'di ba? Kasi nga parang counted siya as experience kasi talagang na-expose ka on what the real work is, 'di ba? And then do contingency planning. So, if plan A doesn't work, dapat may plan B ka parati. Okay? And then of course, fresh graduates, 'di ba? So, don't be afraid to make mistakes kasi that's how we learn, 'di ba? By committing mistakes. So, don't be afraid to do any mistakes, especially on your first job. So you may reach out naman to your leads if meron kang mga hindi naiintindihan, di ba? If you need clarification, if you need guides on some things. Okay, so common mistakes fresh graduate makes. So first, refusing to do networking. So as a fresh graduate, you have to build your connections that will eventually help you in your career. Okay, so yeah, very useful, no, na umattend sa mga gantong career to kasi meron kayo nakikitang mga parang different insights, 'di ba? Parang paano ba ako magpe-prepare, 'di ba, pagka-graduate ko, ganyan. O kaya pag job fairs, 'di ba? Pwedeng doon mo pala mahanap yung first job mo. Actually ako, naging factor din 'yun yung pag-attend ko ng job fair because I was referred by the HR, 'di ba? Nung yung nagmaman ng booth, parang finorward niya yung profile ko. Ganun siya. Aside from the parang 'di ba searching and applying online, may nag-forward pa ng profile ko na HR kasi during job fairs, well nung physical no, nagpi-print tayo ng mga resumes, 'di ba? Fino-forward natin 'to sa mga HRs, 'di ba? Pero ngayon, mas madali na siya kasi lahat virtual na, 'di ba? So, by simply attending different job fairs, ganyan, you can email kagad no yung HR, like for example ako 'di ba meron akong na-provide kanina na QR code 'di ba, so best to take a picture kasi makikita mo kagad dun ano ba yung mga openings na tong company na to 'di ba. Okay, and then avoiding feedback, so the feedbacks will help you to improve yourself 'di ba, so negative or positive feedback will be really useful for you. So if positive siya, of course 'di ba nakaka-boost talaga siya ng self-esteem. And if negative naman siya, that will help you to improve yourself, di ba? So that's really for you. So don't avoid any feedback, positive man siya or negative, okay? And then submitting the same resume for every job. If you really wanted to be part of a company, you need to show your interest by addressing your application to the respective point person and position. So, dito na pumapasok yung letter of intent natin, di ba? So, di naman siya required, pero it really depends on you, no, on how you really wanted that job. Parang plus factor siya, advantage, di ba? Makikita doon, parang ano position ba yung gusto mong applyan, bakit gusto mong applyan tong position na to, why you're the best person for that role. Okay? And then going to a job interview unprepared. Okay, so the first step to achieve your career goals is to be prepared on your interviews. It will reflect who you are as an employee if you will be hired. Okay, so for example, no, meron ako na interview before na applicant. He was invited days prior to the scheduled interview. And then, nung umattend na siya ng interview, parang kakagising niya lang. Na-late siya for a few minutes and parang kakagising niya lang. So, okay, so parang kakagising niya lang. So, I'm a bit shocked. Bakit parang hindi siya prepared? Diba? Nakakasagot naman siya, pero parang minus points. Kasi parang gusto niya pa talaga yung posisyon. Bakit parang kakagising niya lang? Di man lang siya nag-alarm, di man lang siya, alam mo yung nag-ayos ng kaunti. Diba? And then, meron naman akong mga candidates na na-interview na I requested them to submit yung mga application forms nila and resume, which is very important kasi nga, that will be the basis for the interview. Yun yung titignan ng recruiter. Then wala siyang na-submit. I asked her if she already submitted. Sabi niya, hindi pa daw. Then I asked her if na-accomplish niya man lang ba. Pwede niya namang i-send na lang later. Then sabi niya, hindi pa rin daw. So yeah, medyo negative points siya kay recruiter if pumunta tayo ng interview unprepared, okay? So, make sure na pag in-invite kayo ni recruiter, i-prepare nyo talaga lahat ng mga kailangang i-submit. And syempre, prepare yourself din, di ba? Like, dress up well, di ba? And then, please be on time during the interview. So, I'll be sharing later, yung mga tips and tricks for you to ace your interview. Okay, so for the job hunting cycle, so here's the overview of the process. So for the screening, so recruiters will screen the candidate profiles from different sourcing channels. Okay, so of course, I'll be sharing with you the sourcing channels kung saan kayo po pwedeng mag-apply later. Okay, so pagka-submit nyo ng resume nyo, si recruiter, isi-screen yan, okay, depending on the position you're applying for, if qualified ba kayo, based on your educational background, your experience, etc. Then if pumasa kayo, you will be invited for an interview and examination. Okay, for you to showcase yourselves, diba? So, interview more on verification of what you've stated on your resume, and an examination more on assessment if yung competencies required ba for this position meron kayo. Okay, so interview and exam, and then line interviews. So for the line interviews, the candidate will have to undergo series of interview depending on the position they're applying for. So for example, for fresh graduates, di ba, usually mga staff level siya. So, usually, maikli lang yung mga interview process dyan. Let's say, mga 3, ganyan, 3 to 4, depende. Depende siya per position, tsaka per company because each company has their own standard. Okay? So, if managerial position naman, usually, mas mahaba yung interview. Minsan, umaabot pa sa mga aside from the department head, sometimes sa ibang company, umabot pa siya like sa CEO, ganun. So it really depends. And then, as soon as you pass the series of interviews, you will be scheduled for job offer. Okay? So for the job offer, ideally, no, dito nyo palang i-bring up yung salary at saka yung benefits. Kasi madalas siya na mga nai-interview kong mga candidates during the initial process pala, initial interview. Nagtatanong na sila, ma'am, how much po ba yung salary for this position? Well, okay lang naman yun, that's normal, no? Pero ideally, itatanong siya during the job offer stage. Kasi during the interview process, titignan doon parang how interested you are really on the position, not only on the salary that we can offer. Okay? So, about the salary and the benefits that you want to ask, i-discuss siya dito with the hiring manager. Okay? So, for the pre-employment requirements, so for this naman, ito yung may i-require na sa mga documents, usually government documents siya, medical, etc. Okay? And just a tip, no, para mas mapabilis yung pre-employment requirements nyo, better if ipaprocess nyo na siya, no, parang prior to your interviews or during your interview process para mas mapabilis. Like for example, you can already process your SSS, your pag-ibig, your PhilHealth, etc. Okay, so all documents so pwede nang i-process na hindi ka kailanganin yung parang endorsement ni HR para pag employment requirements ka na, I'm already complete po, ma'am, di ba? Kasi sasend mo na lang siya kasi plus points siya. Nakakatuwa yun sa candidate na parang very prepared, no? Parang kaka-endorse mo pa lang ng pre-employment requirements, meron na kagad siya, di ba? Para mas mapapabilis yung onboarding stage mo. Okay? So as soon as you have completed na, no, cleared ka na sa medical and then yung sa documents requested by the HR, you can be already onboarded. Okay? So usually pagka on board, you will be attending different orientations by the HR and then by the department. Okay, so here are the sourcing channels that I've mentioned. So of course, we have the website, no, for Mondenesen. So same website siya as I've shared a while ago. So if you're interested in one of our openings, please don't hesitate to check the link shared and then apply. Okay, and then after that, we also have a lot of openings posted in LinkedIn, JobStreet, Caliber, Facebook, and Indeed. For Facebook, you may check our Facebook page, Mondenesen Careers. Okay, so we update it from time to time. So you may check it, no? Para if you're interested to one of our openings, you can apply. But if you have any, if you have any friends or any, let's say, relatives na looking for a job, you may share it to them, diba? So ito yung mga sourcing channels that we have. And then here, the job interview preparation na. Okay? So for the job interview preparation, I've listed down the before the interview, on the day of the interview, and then after the interview. So before the interview, you have to conduct your research. So what research should you prepare ba? So of course, you have to do your research na about the company. Ano ba tong company na to? Ano ba products nila? Ano ba yung services nila? And then yung position, di ba? Parang ano ba tong position na ina-applyan ko, di ba? Maganda may idea ka na before you attend the interview. And then review the questions that the interviewers might ask. So usually bumabase lang naman yung mga recruiters sa profile or the resume that you will be sending. So you can check your resume din, no? Parang ano kaya po pwede itanong dito ng recruiter, di ba? Based on, for example, educational background. Bakit mo napili tong course na to? Ano, bakit ito yung pinursu mo, di ba? Or sa experience mo naman, ano yung parang your day-to-day job, mga ganun bang bagay. So, yeah, be prepared na lang din, no, sa mga questions na po pwedeng itanong sa'yo. And then, submit the necessary requirements on or before the deadline. So, ito yung na-discuss ko kanina, no, yung si applicant, umattend, tas walang nasubmit na requirements, then hindi pa siya nakakapag-accomplish, di ba? So, better to prepare it ahead of time, di ba? Kasi may plus point siya sa recruiter pag kakasend mo pala ng requirements, nag-send ba kagad siya, naka-accomplish na kagad, di ba? Nakikita kasi doon how good the candidate is if ma-onboard siya. Ibig sabihin, kapag may binigay sa kanyang, let's say, yung work, yung lead niya, magagawa niya kaagad. Okay? And then yun nga, be prompt in responding. Always check your cell phones, your emails from time to time. Kasi sila recruiter, dyan sila nag-update. Okay? So for example, pumasa ka sa initial interview, then you will be endorsed for your next level interview. So usually, we text, we call, we email yung candidate, di ba? And it is highly appreciated no, kung makakapag-reply kagad para malaman namin kung ibablock ba namin yung availability nila yung interviewer or hindi. Okay? So, on the day of the interview naman, of course, you have to dress the part. Okay? So, of course, if you're applying for, let's say, kunwari lang, corporate position, di ba? So, better if you wear at least parang business casual attire, di ba? Long sleeves for men, and then let's say, blouse naman for women. Di ba? Hindi mo kailangan naka-blazer, basta you look presentable, di ba? So, you have to dress the part, and then be on time. Okay? So, if ang schedule nyo ay 1 o'clock p.m., you have to be there at least 10 to 15 minutes. Para if there's any technical difficulties, magagawan kagad siya ng paraan. Kasi I remembered, meron ako mga applicant na na-late sila sa interview nila, parang 5 to 10 minutes silang late. And then, hindi pa kami kagad makapag-start kasi may problem siya sa audio niya, may technical problem. And hindi niya kagad mahanap kung ano yung problem. Hindi niya kagad masolusyonan. So parang 1 o'clock, kunwari 1:05 or 1:10 ata kami nag-start. Tapos, nagkarinigan lang kami after 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, di ba? So parang nasasayang kasi yung time, and usually kasi recruiter parang they block kasi sunod-sunod yung mga schedules. So for example, 1 o'clock to 1:30 si candidate number 1, 1:30 to 2 o'clock si candidate number 2 naman. So yeah, time is very important. So you have to be on time. Okay? And then meron tayong tinatawag na good non-verbal behavior. So ito yung eye contact, and then let's say mga hand gestures, di ba? Nakikita yung lahat during the interview. Okay? Nahalata namin, nalalaman namin if kunwari may tinanong kami sa'yo if you're lying, di ba? Or if you're hesitant pa, like for example, are you okay ba with this schedule? Then nakita namin sa yung non-verbal behavior mo na parang may hesitation ka, may reservation ka. So, tinitake down notes namin yun. Okay? So, yun siya, yung non-verbal behavior natin. And then, you have to speak with confidence and full of enthusiasm. Okay? So, of course, if you really wanted the position, di ba, parang ipakita mo talaga na gustong-gusto mo siya. Di ba? Para makita nila na talaga, mukhang tatagal to, mukhang magugustuhan niya yung position na ibibigay sa kanya. Mukhang mag-e-enjoy siya here in Mondonesen. Di ba? And then, you can ask the hiring process para you know then on which phase you are already in. Okay, kung after the initial interview ba, ano na ba yung next step, di ba? Ano na ba yung, parang kailan ko ba malalaman if pasado ako, di ba? So there are some recruiters kasi na hindi siya na nasi-share, di ba? So it would be best for you to raise it, no? Parang ano ba yung hiring process here in the company, di ba? Para alam din natin. And then after the interview, so thank you letter. So hindi naman siya required, no? But just to give you some tips, no? Parang nakakatuwa kasi for recruiter if magti-thank you si candidate, di ba? After na magti-thank si candidate na gusto niya interview, ganyan, or to keep them updated on the application status, etc. And then, of course, know when to follow up your application status. Okay, so common interview questions. So questions to prepare for. So first, can you tell me about yourself? Okay, so sige nga, tingnan nga natin from the attendees, paano nyo sasabihin to? Can you tell me about yourself? Ano yung sasabihin ninyo? Okay. Sige, please don't be shy. Type in your message here in the comment section. Okay. Sige, so, okay, baka nahihiya sila. So, usually dito, pag sasabi natin, tell me about yourself, of course, sasabi natin parang yung brief background, no? brief background ng profile natin. So, for fresh graduates, usually we share kung saan ka gumraduate, ano yung course mo. If you have any internship experience, you may also indicate, you may also share that. And then, it will be highly appreciated then no, if parang sasabihin mo din what you usually do on your free time, di ba? Kasi some details sa resume mo na. Syempre for us to get to know you better. And then, what do you know about the company? Okay, so ito naman, bakit siya tinatanong? Di ba? Syempre, for us to know how interested you are in the company, di ba? Or in the position that you are applying for, di ba? So, bakit Mondenesen, di ba? Parang out of all the companies out there, why Mondenesen? Di ba? Yun yung question doon. So, gusto namin malaman kung like nag-conduct ka ba ng research about the company, ano ba, alam mo ba yung mga products namin, di ba? So, yun siya, dito siya makikita. So, yun siya. So, you have to do your research, di ba? O, si Mondenisin, ang products dyan, mga Lucky Me, mga Fita, di ba? Mga MY Sun, di ba? And then, why do you want this job? So, of course, you should know why you want this job, no? Parang bakit itong position yung ina-applyan mo. Okay, so for my case, 'di ba? Parang HR, bakit HR? Kasi 'di ba, yung psychology, ang daming niyang mga fields, 'di ba? Bakit ito yung napili mo? 'Di ba? So, you can align, 'di ba, your values sa values ni company. You may share that. And then pwede mo ding sabihin parang bakit ka naging interested dito, baka meron yang parang meron kang past experience na nagustuhan mo kaya ka nag-apply for this role, 'di ba? You think your credentials are aligned with them, 'di ba? So yun siya. And then how do you deal with stressful situations? So for this naman, better to cite some situations from your past, no? And how did you cope up with it? So para malaman namin na parang kunwari, nabigyan ka ng task, di ba? Sa current job role mo. Anong gagawin mo? Parang susuko ka na lang ba kagad? Paano ka ba magko-cope up? Para alam din namin, as your employer, how can we help you? Okay? And then, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So this is very important kasi dito natin makikita if si candidate ba, gusto ba talaga niya yung ginagawa niya? Mukha ba siyang tatagal sa company? So yan siya. So you may share your personal and then your career goals, diba, in 3 to 5 years. Okay? So pwede mo sabihin na kunwari, to climb the corporate ladder, mga ganyan. To be promoted. Okay, and then your personal goals naman, for example, to have your own house, ganyan. So it really depends on you, no? So mas maganda if you will be true to yourself, diba, during your interview para makita din namin if you're fit ba for the role. Okay, so how to stand out from the crowd in an interview. So here's the tips and tricks. So of course, you have to be prepared. So you should know what are the things that you should submit prior to the scheduled interview. So for example, di ba yung applicant ko before, hiningan ko siya ng resume niya at saka ng application form niya. So if nag-request si recruiter or si HR ng requirements from you, you should comply with it, di ba? So yun siya. If you can meet naman the deadline, you must inform the HR or the recruiter ahead of time, di ba? Para ma-heads upan sila na hindi mo siya magagawa. Okay? So, wear business casual attire. So, even though we're doing virtual interviews, so, syempre, we should wear business attire pa rin kahit pantaas, di ba? So, let's see, mga long sleeves, di ba? Ganyan, mga blouses for women. So, business casual attire pa rin tayo. And then, use Zoom background, okay? So, pwede mong gamitin if you have plain background, no, din sa house nyo, pwede mong gamitin yon. Pero if wala, pwede ka naman mag-download sa browser, di ba? Zoom background, ganyan. Tapos, pwede ka mamili ng mga professional background, di ba? Sa akin, may mga plants pa, plantita. So, yun siya. And then conduct research about the company and then the position. So, yun nga, as I've shared a while ago, para malaman how interested you are for the company and then for the position. And then anticipate different questions based from your CV or your resume. So you question yourself, no, based on your CV, like educational background. Oh, ba't ko nga ba pinili tong course na to, 'di ba? O parang meron bang nag-inspire sa akin, or was it recommended ba, or is this my own choice ba? Bakit, 'di ba? And then kunwari naman sa internship experience niyo naman, ay internship background, ano natutunan mo doon, 'di ba? Ano yung mga challenges, ano yung mga na-contribute mo sa team, sa company, di ba, during your stay there. Kahit na intern ka, ito na yung nagawa mo, ito, di ba? Kung pwede mo yung practice in. Okay? And then, talk about more than just what's on your resume. So, give more details about your accomplishments. Okay? So, for me, for example, di ba, I don't have any Latin honors, but I highlighted yung internship background ko wherein pwede ko siyang gamitin as soon as I got onboarded, no, dun sa company. That's why I landed in my first job exactly a month after I graduated. Para nakita nila na, itong applicant na to, parang hindi siya masyadong maninibago, diba? Or hindi siya mahirapang mag-adjust dun sa position na ibibigay sa kanya kasi she's familiar na-expose na siya on, let's say, on recruitment, training, labor relations, di ba? Makikita doon na, flexible pala siya, pwede siyang ilagay dito, ilagay dyan, ilagay dito, di ba? So, yun yung mga pwede nating i-share kay recruiter. Okay? And then, highlight your knowledge and skills that you can impart in the position offered. So, yun nga, as I've mentioned. And then, show your personal interest. So, aside from your resume kasi, we're also checking if your culture fit, 'di ba? Ano ba yung interest mo, 'di ba? Like kunwari, meron ka bang mga sports? Ano ba yung mga hobbies mo, 'di ba? Do you read books ba, or do you prefer going out with friends, 'di ba? And then third one, don't tell them what you think that they want to hear. So, meron akong applicant before na ang mga answer niya sa mga sagot ko, alam mo yung mga nasa-search mo online. Diba? Like for example, what's your edge among other applicants what is your edge compared to other applicants applying for this role? Nasabihin niya na I can contribute my knowledge and skills, may mga ganun yung mga na-search mo online. So, wag ganon, 'di ba? Kasi mahalata namin 'yun. Kung parang mukha ba siyang rehearsed, 'di ba? Mukha ba siyang na-memorize. So be yourself, 'di ba? Parang ano ba talaga yung mako-contribute mo to the company? You may take a look, no, sa resume mo, yung sa internship experience mo, ano yung mai-impart mo doon, no? Doon sa company that you're applying for. So be yourself lang and then be genuine in answering the questions. So know that your body language speaks too. So of course, your eye contact, your hand gestures, lahat yun nakikita yan during the interview. So we can share, no, if you're being too stiff, di ba? If mukha bang may pinabasa ka, di ba? Actually, meron ako na-encounter na applicant na ganon. Kasi nga, di ba, virtual. So hindi mo mahalata kung meron ba siyang kodigo. Tapos, na-notice ko na tingin siya ng tingin dyan sa baba. Tingin siya ng tingin sa baba. So, I asked him, are you reading something? Tapos, he apologized kasi nga, meron talaga siyang CV na binabasa. So, don't be like that, no? So, you know yourself more than anyone else. So, ikaw din yung gumawa ng resume na yan. Ikaw yung naka-experience nun. Like, ikaw yung nag-aral, ikaw yung nag-intern, di ba? So, that is something that you can share, di ba, with the interviewer. And then, of course, even though sinabi kong be yourself, of course, you should know your limitations. Be professional pa rin in answering the questions thrown at you, diba? Wag nating kakalimutan na you're still being evaluated during the interview. So, you can pass, pwede ka ding bumagsak. Okay? So, yun siya. So, let me share with you this quote. So, your education is only the beginning. You may have already graduated, but the thirst for learning should never stop. Okay? So, of course, we're continuously learning, no? Aside from the education that we have, di ba? With University of Mindanao, meron na namang parang new avenue to learn, di ba? Wherein, yun na nga yung corporate life natin, di ba? So, matututo ka ulit kasi ibang-iba sila, di ba? Like, ano ba yung work dito, ano ba yung dapat kong gawin dito, kasi not everything is being taught sa university, 'di ba? So ibang experience naman 'yun, 'di ba? So yeah, education is only the beginning. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Do you have any questions or clarification so far with the presentation?
All right. Thank you once again, Miss Andy. I think everyone was able to learn something new and valuable now from your talk. And as Miss Andy mentioned, she has now opened the floor for any questions. And if you can remember, sabi ni Sir Ray last time, you should always end a talk with a question. No? Make sure that you don't leave it na walang question. Kasi parang ano natin yun, no? Measure natin sa ating intelligence. So, who has a question there for Miss Andy? I'm sure Miss Andy will be happy to answer our questions. Sino yung may mga tanong natin dyan?
Sa mga nahihiyang mag-ask, pwede nyo naman ako i-message na sa chat box.
So, ayun, si Miss Andy na yung nag-adjust. So, if you don't want to turn your mic on, you can send your message na lang sa chat box and then we can read it out loud for you. So whoever has a question there, I think Miss Andy gave a lot of really good tips, actually, especially from the perspective of a fresh graduate. No, Miss Andy, I think I can relate with some of those things that you mentioned. So let's hope, no, na from sharing what you did share today, that they will not encounter those mishaps, I guess, no, on their end.
Yes.
So sino ba yung may mga questions dyan? Ayun. Sige.
Iya ata
Kalimutan na
sila.
yata nila. Yeah, medyo nahihiya. They're a very shy batch.
Don't be shy.
Ayun, there we go. We have a question from Kenneth. Ma'am, if ever
Okay.
po nakakabahan ka po, what is the better thing to do? Ayun.
Okay. So very good question, no? Kasi, well, ako actually, introverted ako. So, talagang na-encounter ko talaga yan during my first interview. Shucks, ano kayang gagawin ko? Ano kayang sasabihin ko? Parang, talagang inaral mo naman yung mga tips and tricks, di ba, online. Talagang nag-rehearse ka pa, di ba? Like, pag tinanong to, ano kaya magandang sabihin based from my CV, di ba? Pero sometimes talaga like nakakablanko talaga siya during the initial interview. So, ako, ang ginagawa ko, pag sobrang kinakabahan talaga ako, ang ginagawa ko is parang I take a deep breath and then parang iniisip ko na tao lang naman to, 'di ba? Parang tinatanong niya lang ako based from my experience. Parang more on getting to know each other lang, 'di ba? So, parang I don't take it parang ay sorry. Okay. So, pero I don't take it very, very parang seriously na parang papatayin ako nito pag nagkamali ako. Hindi siya ganon. So, parang more on getting to know each other lang. So, parang take a deep breath and then compose yourself, diba? And then answer the questions slowly, diba? Kasi nahalata siya pag like ang bilis talaga natin magsalita, no? So, yun siya. I hope I answered your question. So, it really varies kasi per person, but that's from my own experience naman. More on take a deep breath and compose yourself, no? Then, sagutin mo isa-isa yung mga questions. And if may hindi ka na-capture, you may ask it again. Okay lang naman kami doon. Okay?
Right. Thank you, Miss Andy. I think that's a very good tip, no, to slow down. Kasi yun nga sabi ni Miss Andy, nakahalata talaga siya whenever you speak fast. It really shows that you're nervous. So I hope Miss Andy was able to answer your question, Kenneth. We have another question. Who's this? I'm sorry, I cannot identify the name. Question is, good day, Karen. Good day, ma'am. Are you accepting po interns undergraduate student?
Okay. So, these students ba graduating or as in hindi talaga siya gumraduate?
I'm thinking that she means. Yeah, I think she's referring to an actual like internship program, like just before you graduate.
Yes, we're actually open for internship. So, usually talaga undergraduate yung kinukuha namin for this because most of the universities, no, nagre-require sila ng number of hours. So, some students nagre-require ng mga 500 hours, 300 hours. So, we're okay naman with that, no? So, you can just submit your application, your profile, your CV to us, then pwede ka naming ipasok to one of our openings. Of course, you have to undergo the interview process. But yes, we accept.
Okay, so on that note, no, maybe we can work out some sort of partnership with Monde, Miss Andy.
Pay yourself.
Okay, all right. Okay. Sige, we have another question, Miss Andy from Alwina. Do you have any thoughts about someone who's applying na may tattoo?
Okay, so tattoos are okay naman. So as long as hindi siya parang very distracting, no? Like baka kasi whole body, di ba? Pero okay lang naman kami doon. Hindi naman kami nagdi-discriminate ng mga taong may tattoo. So like for example, if kailangan talaga walang tattoo for the role, we can recommend naman other options for them to try. Like for example, pwede silang meron tayong tinatawag na parang sleeves. So it really depends on the possession, but we're not discriminating this type of people naman.
I guess that's part of how you present yourself na rin po. No?
Yes, totoo siya.
Okay. We have another question from Kenneth. I like how active Kenneth is, no? Kenneth, he said, Ma'am Andy, what if na mental blank po at nakakalimutan po yung isasagot? What will we do?
Okay, so I think related din siya sa unang question, no? So usually, well, it happens, no? Meron ako may mga na-encounter talaga ako na candidates na ganyan na talagang sobra talaga silang kinakabahan. So, ako as a recruiter, I also help them, no? Na parang, don't be shy, I won't bite. Parang I try to, to lighten the mood. Diba? Kasi baka nape-pressure din sila in answering the questions. So, for the applicants naman, so, yun nga, if na-mental block ka, wag mong isipin na, hala, nasa interview ako, parang dito naka-base yung future ko. Hindi siya ganon, okay? Marami pa namang isipin mo na lang na parang marami pa namang parang opportunities that might come your way, 'di ba? Parang isipin mo na lang na parang more on getting to know lang, no, with the employer. Ganun siya. Parang tinatanong ka lang niya ng questions na nasa CV mo din. Like for example, why did you choose this course, 'di ba? So sasabihin mo lang sa recruiter na parang you need to take a deep breath, then compose yourself, 'di ba? Parang isipin mo bakit ba't nga ba ako nag-apply for this role, 'di ba? I mean for this bakit ko to pinursu tong course na to. So, you can share what inspires you to pursue this, 'di ba? Baka meron kang past experiences, you can cite that. Ganun siya. Okay.
Okay, we have last three questions na lang po, Ma'am Andy. The first one is from Miliani Opsar, if I'm not mistaken. Ma'am, do HRs get annoyed on applicants who have bright colored hairs and piercings?
Okay, so thank you for that question, Milin. Okay. So no, we don't get annoyed naman with those applicants na may bright colored hair or piercings because of course parang it's a form of art nga din, 'di ba? So it really depends on the position kasi that you're applying for. So for example, you're applying for sales and marketing, 'di ba? Wherein you have to handle clients. Talagang ikaw yung magiging face ng company and ang color ng hair mo kunwari blonde, 'di ba? O kaya as in dami mong piercing like both ears, 'di ba? So you have to comply. Parang hindi naman siya nakaka-annoy, 'di ba? Pero we have company standards that that everyone should comply, hindi lang yung mga applicants but of course all the employees, 'di ba? So for example, pag customer facing yung position, of course, you will be asked by the interviewer if you're willing to parang dye your hair black, 'di ba? So it really depends on the company policy. And then for the piercings naman, ganun din naman siya. You may remove it naman during work. Then if you're happy wearing piercings, you can use it naman after office hours.
Right. So again, depends na naman po ulit sa position, right?
Yes, lalo na pag mga client facing kasi syempre sila yung nagiging face of the company.
Yes, okay. I hope that was answered. I think we have another one from Otero. During an interview po, kailangan po ba talaga we talk in English or it depends on us if kung saan kami mas comfortable?
Okay. So, it's an advantage, no, if you can communicate in English kasi some positions requires an applicant talaga or employee na talaga magsalita in English. Like for example, if yung job mo kailangan makipag-usap with foreigners, diba? Like foreign investors, foreign clients, of course, i-gauge yung communication skills mo if you can share your thoughts ba clearly, diba? How fluent are you? Ganyan. But for some positions naman, hindi naman siya required.
All right. And then one last question po, Miss Andy from Ren. Ma'am, if ever we encounter hard questions that we don't have any idea how to answer, how would recruitment assess the answer of the applicant? Is it based solely on the question itself or how the applicant handled the situation?
Thank you so much for that, Ken. Okay, so for me, how the applicant handled the situation. Kasi, for example, meron akong applicant before. Like, I asked this candidate, no, if meron ba siyang experience on this area, which is relative to the position that she's applying for. So, I'm not expecting this candidate naman na talaga magbigay siya ng experience niya na ganto, ganyan, ang dami-dami. I'm not expecting since we're open naman for fresh graduates. More on checking lang, no, kung meron na siyang experience on that area that we can, she can share, no, as soon as she got onboarded. Pero if wala naman, that is okay, diba? So, it really depends how that candidate delivers the answer, diba? So, pwede niyang sabihin na like she doesn't have any idea on this, diba? Kaya pwede niyang i-highlight na lang yung mga strengths niya, diba? Like for example, I don't have any experience in this area, but I have knowledge here, I have skills here, blah, blah, blah. Ganun na lang. Let's not focus on the negative side of the interview or the application, but on the strengths. Let's keep our answers very positive kasi that's something that will really help you to land your first job. Okay, i-counter natin siya.
Yes, yes.
Yung mga questions.
Like if in a sense, try to bring back that spotlight to you.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Yes, totoo siya.
All right. And very last one po, Miss Andy. I think this is an important question po kasi. Good afternoon, Miss Andy. This is from Edlin. After po sa interview, ano po ba ang magandang itanong sa recruiter if they would ask for any questions from us? Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. So, very good question siya. Kasi usually, yung mga applicants namin, when I ask them, do you have any questions pa ba or any clarifications before we end the interview? Usually, sasabi nila, na po, thank you. Diba? So, that's okay naman. Pero mas maganda if makikita namin na parang interested ka talaga for the role. Like, for example, what's the company culture, diba? How does it feels like to work in your company? What's the day-to-day job of this position? What's the hiring process? So, yun yung mga sample questions that you can throw to the interviewer if mag-attend kayo ng mga job interviews in the future.
Okay, so I guess that's a good question. No? I hope you were able to hear that yung company culture and things like that. It's a very good question. So take it from Miss Andy, who's an HR specialist. She already mentioned that even though it's not really necessary, it still gives a better impression when you do end the interview with a question. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone who asked questions for this session. And so with that, Miss Andy, we would like to end this portion of our program now. But of course, we would like to acknowledge your participation. So Sir Benji, if you could share on screen. So we have created a certificate for you, which reads from the External Relations and International Affairs Office, a certificate of appreciation is given to Maria Andrea Francesca Pipanbaki for being the resource speaker in the Culmination Day of Caed 500 with the theme Latest Trends in the Career World, Career Etiquette, and Employability Tips, given this 15th day of March 2022 via Zoom, signed by the Vice President of our office, Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro. So a virtual round of applause for Miss Andy, please. Okay, there
Thank you
go.
so much.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Andy. I think you gave us such a lot of input, and I'm sure that the students were able to appreciate as well everything that you shared with them. And sa mga hindi screenshot sa QR kanina for Monday, you can always reach out sa Student Development Office. No, I was able to take a screenshot of that as well. And so if you are interested to maybe work with Miss Andy in the future, you can reach out through us. You can reach out to us through the email. Okay, so thank you so much once again, Miss Andy. And we will now be moving forward to the next part of our program, which is this is your time to shine now. Okay, so I hope you were able to learn a lot no, from Miss Andy, but this time we are going to shift the spotlight to you. So kayo na naman yung magbibida this time. We are going to be checking out the finalists for our three categories this afternoon. If you remember, we gave you three tasks. That we had the interview, and then the job interview attire, and then also the career portfolio. So for those activities, the coaches came together to pick out the best of the best. No? So we have some finalists, and then we also picked out the best. So hopefully you will be able to enjoy this little show. No, we picked out a few. And let me just give me a moment. Let me just share my screen so that you can see. Ayun. All right. So that you can see kung sino yung mga, ano natin, mga, sorry, did I turn it off? I think I turned it off. Ayun. So that you can see kung sino yung mga candidates natin. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the best in job interview. So I hope you can hear. Finalist, Brian Nico, sorry. Second finalist, Jean Clyde. Oh, hindi ko nakita yung name niya. For Jean Clyde, second finalist for the male. Here we go. Jean Clyde, like criminal undercover.
Don't pop like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the super.
And then the third finalist, we have Thomas Isaac Alino, 7559.
Smooth like butter, like criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother.
Nice,
hot like summer,
well.
yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not.
And another one.
Smooth like butter, like criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down.
Very nice.
Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow.
And then now for the female, these are their entries, the finalists. First one, Geraldine
Smooth
Sam
like
Hewitt,
butter, like criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror.
Okay, another one.
Into your heart like that.
Belmar Astronomo,
yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so to the booty. A side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. No.
And then another one we have from
Smooth like butter, like criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so to the booty. A side step right left to my beat.
and another one we have
Smooth like butter, like criminal
okay, for the
undercover.
ladies, it's
Don't
very
pop
important to do your
like
makeup
trouble
right.
breaking into your heart like that. Cool
your hair
shade stunner,
right.
yeah, owe it all to my mother.
part of your outfit.
Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror,
Black and
I'm
white.
not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh, do the booty. A side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Side step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Smooth like.
Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay, nidiretso na siya. But basically, we have our best in job interview attire. We have for the male, we
Smooth
have
like
Green
butter,
Clyde
like
Budas,
a
and for
criminal
female, we have
undercover. Don't
Geraldine
pop
Sally
like
Felix.
trouble,
So,
breaking into your
virtual
heart
round of
like that.
applause for you guys. You can
Cool
come here to
shapes on
the
the yeah,
External
owe it
Relations
all to
Office,
my
the
mother.
Ballroom, to claim your
Hot
prize. You have to
like
new
summer,
emerge
yeah, I'm making you
as
sweat
your
like
prize.
that. Break it
Again,
down.
Green Clyde and
Ooh, when I
Geraldine
look in
Felix.
the
You can
mirror,
come here and
I'm
claim
not too
your
hard to
prize.
do. I got the
So
superstar glow, so
these are your best
do the
examples for your job interview attire. Now let's move forward to the job interview challenge on TikTok. So we have some samples here.
Job interview challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'll give you a common job interview question, then try constructing an answer to the best of your ability. Ready? Let's begin. What did you do in the last year to improve your knowledge?
By seeking to the means of improving ability to acquire knowledge and skills. What I did last year is being determined by following up the courses until the success. Secondly is being devoted by being consistent in the process of learning. So in summarily, I take the IDD, which is the interest, devotion, and
Great job!
determination.
Now you're
Thank
ready
you.
for your next interview.
Next one.
Job interview challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'll give you a common job interview question, then try constructing an answer to the best of your ability. Ready? Let's begin. What did you do in the last year to improve your knowledge?
So last year was my last academic year where I started to indulge myself in free online courses offered by an institution called Code Academy. And from there, I have molded my web development skills such as JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React.js. I also joined few seminars so that I could be aware of existing framework and technologies that could be helpful in developing web applications.
Great job! Now you're ready for your next interview.
Thank you.
And the
Job
third
interview
finalist.
challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'll give you a common job interview question, then try constructing an answer to the best of your ability. Ready? Let's begin. What did you do in the last year to improve your knowledge?
In the last year, in order to expand my knowledge, I attended seminars that would provide me credit for the course that I am pursuing. I also started a small business and took the pandemic as an opportunity to grow and expand my abilities. In addition, I cultivate ties with successful people in order to widen my connection. Hearing their experiences made me strive and fulfill my goals in life.
Great job! Now you're ready for your next interview.
Next one.
Job interview challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'll give you a common job interview question, then try constructing an answer to the best of your ability. Ready? Let's begin. What did you do in the last year to improve your knowledge?
During pandemic, everything is made by online learning or session in order to avoid infecting the COVID-19 virus. What I did last year to improve my knowledge is to motivate myself. Motivate myself to learn things using social media platforms by watching videos, vlogs, and news, reading articles and journals that are related in my profession in business, specifically in finance. Thank you.
Great job! Now you're ready for your next interview.
Job interview challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'm going to give you a question and you're going to answer it to the best of your abilities. Ready? Let's begin. What kind of work environment do you like best?
The kind of work environment I like best is a systematic and support type environment, as having that support foundation and systematic foundation are good combinations for having that good workflow, if you ask me. Having that systematic foundation would be good for discipline, while having the support type would be good for having the teamwork and also relationship between colleagues.
I think I would work best in that kind of environment.
Great job! You're now ready for a job interview. Job interview challenge. If you want to practice your job interview skills, then do it this. I'm going to give you a question and you're going to answer it to the best of your abilities. Ready? Let's begin. What kind of work environment do you like best?
I've been in a number of different settings, and based on that experience, I can say that I enjoy working in a positive and fast growing environment that promotes individual growth and has a good camaraderie within the team, and one that also considers its employees' well being at most. Thank you so much.
All right, and those are our finalists for the best interview challenge on TikTok, and the winner.
Great job! You're now ready for a job. If you want to
All right,
practice your job
best
interview
interview
skills, then
challenge
do it
for
this.
the male
I'm
goes
going to give
to
you a question
Thomas
and you're going to
Isaac
answer it to
Alinio.
the best of your
So
abilities.
you can again
Ready?
come to
Let's
the
begin.
office here at
What
Bolton,
kind of work
External Relations
environment do
Office, to
you
claim
like
your prize.
best?
Again, you have your UM
The
merch
kind of work environment I
as
like
a
best is a
prize.
systematic and support type environment, as having that support foundation and systematic foundation are good combinations for having that good workflow, if you ask me. Having that systematic foundation would be good for discipline, while having the support type would be good for having the teamwork and also relationship between colleagues. I think I would work best in that kind of environment.
Great job! You're now ready for a job interview.
And for the
Job
female, we
interview
have
challenge. If you
Sheena
want to
B.
practice your
Plata.
job interview
Again,
skills,
Sheena
then
B.
do it this.
Plata.
I'll
She
give you a
won
common
the
job
best
interview
job interview
question,
challenge on
then try
TikTok.
constructing an
Miss
answer to the
Sheena, you
best
can
of your
just come to
ability.
our office to
Ready?
claim your
Let's
prize.
begin. What did you do in the last year to improve your knowledge?
In the last year, in order to expand my knowledge, I attended seminars that would provide me credit for the course that I am pursuing. I also started a small business and took the pandemic as an opportunity to grow and expand my abilities. In addition, I cultivate ties with successful people in order to widen my connection. Hearing their experiences made me strive and fulfill my goals in life.
Great job! Now you're ready for your next interview.
All right. And then for the virtual mock interview, which was held last March 9, so there were actually quite a lot of you who signed up na, for a virtual mock interview. And so the whole day was spent interviewing different people. And among those, these were the top three who gave the best responses to the coaches who were interviewing them. So the first one is we have Tommy Alves from 6905. We also have Ace Lawrence Ranises, if I'm not mistaken, from 10391. And we also have John Rick Malisobo from 8542. So these three gentlemen, congratulations now. You deserve a pat on the back. So if you have time, you can just come over to our office again to claim your prize. So again, Tommy Alves, Ace Renisas, and John Malisobo, you can come to the office for your prize. So they did a very good job. There were the questions that we asked were really quite random, no, and they were able to answer it to the best of their ability. So congratulations once more. And I think we have one last, if I'm not mistaken. We also have the best in career portfolio. That's correct. So for the best in career portfolio, there were some, we did not include any more the finalists, but basically the person who won for best in career portfolio is Wendell Marie Australia from code 6493. Again, Wendell Marie Australia 6493. So this is just an excerpt of her tawag nito, portfolio. You can see on your screen right now. It looks very nice, actually very neat as well. So Wendell, you can come over to the office once again to claim your prize. Okay, so I hope everyone who won no their prizes this afternoon, they will be able to come to the office. Sayang naman yung effort ninyo, no? And we really appreciate everybody's effort, especially with the videos and the mock interview and the portfolio. It's not easy, to do those things, especially when you know that this is something that could define your future, diba? So we really appreciate that you participated and you really acted as if you were really in an actual interview. So thank you once again to everybody who participated. Okay, so I guess everybody deserves a virtual round of applause, no? You're almost there for the graduating students, no? Naghihintay na lang talaga sana tayo. Okay? So I guess with sorry, so without any so without any further ado, I guess everyone also has other things to do. But before we end our session this afternoon, no, maybe call on one of our coaches for Caed 500. Maybe call on Sir Benji Mainopas for his closing remarks.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Kate. And we say no congratulations to our students, to all the Caed 500 students who already surpassed all the activities na kailangan ninyong i-submit, no, and hopefully that we are able to give to you guys things that you need to do in order for you to be prepared, no, for the next journey once you graduate. And that's also the goal of that once you graduate here, you can really get the job that you want to. And in order for us to do that one, we have to prepare. So that's why there's a special program of the university, and kayo lang, no, the only University of Mindanao has this kind of course, no, na binigay sa inyo para maging prepared kayo, no, for your next journey. And we pray, no, and we hope that all of you, no, can really get the job that you want to. No, your dreams and aspirations in life will really be fulfilled. And just mention, no, as mentioned, no, by Miss Andy a while ago, that you have to do something on that. You have to prepare for that so that whatever things that you want to, you can make it. So again, congratulations, and we hope to see you soon, no, na you are already, no, on your dream job, and soon, no, you'll be the one, no, to attest, no, the quality education that the university is giving to all its students. So thank you so much and good afternoon.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Benji. I think he was able to encapsulate na, no, the essence of our subject in CAED 500. And with that said, we would like to wish everyone once again the best, no, especially for the graduating students as you go and apply for your jobs in the future. So before we end our event this afternoon, could I possibly request everyone to turn on their cameras as I take pictures of everyone present. So we have 13 pages. So medyo taas-taas yung pag-smile natin this afternoon, no? So I will begin with the first page and then, I will begin with the first page. So please smile. Ready? Okay, we are on page 1 and smile. Okay, give me a moment. Sorry. Ayan. And then let's move on to page 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. And then page 3. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Ganda na mga smile natin, no? And page 4. Ayan. Sige, dami natin today. 1, 2, 3, smile. Page 4. Okay. And then page 5. 1, 2, 3, smile. There we go.
Wala lang gid smile, wala plastic na. Go.
Okay, wala mo kabalo kung asa mga page. Sige, page 6.
Tingkamot lang.
Ang mga page 6, wala na nag-on cam. If pwede mag-on cam ang page 6. There
On
we
cam
go.
na, on cam.
Sige. All right, page 6, that's done. Let's move on to page 7. Okay, give me a moment.
Genesis, smile po dra, Genesis and Pikiro. Ipa-mention sa madili mang smile. Sige.
Okay, page 8. Wala na nag-on cam. Agoy. O, paninanot brush ba?
Lagi.
Page 9.
Oy, si Gascon, wala pa nag-smile.
And then we're on page 10. Please bear with me. And
alright. Sensya na dyan sa mga nailhan yun. Kay mga
page
estudyante.
11. Okay. Medyo daghan ta today, no? Page 12. And we are down to our last page, page 13.
Ayan.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank you
much,
so much, everyone.
All right. So I guess that ends our event for this afternoon. No, I hope you were able to have a good time. If you have any further questions, you know where to reach your coaches and you know their contact details. So with that said, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye. Amping mangga.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank
Bye,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you po, sir.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.